Our second designer this week is KATI. Nina is an expert in Feng Shui, the ancient Chinese design practice which seeks to harmonize living spaces with the environment. These properties, which are spread over 3 floors, are priced in the region of 600,000 euros. Our designers will have 61,000 euros each to spend, and this is the brief our designers have to work to. Where did you get your concept from?
The concept really was to use very sort of quiet colours. It was really to fit in with Feng Shui, because that's what I am. I'm a Feng Shui consultant and interior designer.
Okay, so is this going to sum up this particular painting, the overall look?
Exactly, yes it does. And also it's very lightweight. There's nothing too leafy or too rich about it. It's quite simple. I've been Chinese master trained, so I'd be looking at Feng Shui. Literally, it's part of my nature now. It's the way I see everything. It's through Feng Shui eyes. So what I would be looking at is how to match the occupants with the home. I feel that this room is probably going to be one of the greatest successes, because all the colours in here will be rich, warm and quite exciting. The winter treatment in particular will be very exciting. This is a sideboard we bought for the dining room. We really wanted to put some kind of a marble top onto it, so we had the tiler cut them and fitted them to the furniture. And I think it's turned out lovely. As a result, we've got a piece of furniture that's just that little bit different. This is a sort of a 3-tier metal light shade that's actually been spray painted a cream colour. I do feel that a rug helps to soften the acoustics of a room, and also, I mean, that's really what I feel timber floors are for, is to be dressed with a rug. Otherwise a room looks rather incomplete. We've got 2 voiles here, right? Yeah. This is actually going on the outside. I've layered the fabrics. We've used a very nice organza voile here, and behind that is a lovely sequined velvet panel, which, when the sequins shines through the voile, looks really effective. But the nice thing about this type of chair is you can relax after a meal and stay at the table for much longer. And that was the particular reason why I bought this style of chair.
Nina's attempt at a traditional dining room seems to have been successful. But I wonder, is it not a little dark and cluttered?
Now, I'd have a real problem what Nina's starting to do in this bathroom ensuite in our main bedroom. This is a gorgeous contemporary bathroom with tiger with the twin bowls. I love everything in it. And then when you come out here, you see this period dado beginning to appear the whole way around a room, even over the Velux windows. It's a mixture of styles. It looks awful. I don't like it at all. In Stephen's bathroom, and indeed throughout all his bathrooms, there's one thing in common, and that is they're all bog standard. And they shouldn't be, not in a house of this calibre.
We've designed the kitchen in such a way that there's plenty of worktop space. The more worktop space available to you, the more you'll have clear thinking and clear decision making.
What I've done here with the floor design is, rather than leaving it all the one cream colour in a large area like this, I've decided to border the room in the same tile but in black.
Nina explains how Feng Shui will come into play in her kitchen.
With Feng Shui, it's very important that you don't mix elements that clash together. So the sink and the cooker can't be close to one another. The relationship between the sink and the cooker is important. So if these two are in conflict, it means that the people within the home will be in conflict too. We've chosen quite dressy lights for the kitchen specifically to dress the space, because really there are no wall units in this room. So that's why we have these beautiful glass lights fitted directly over the worktop, and not in such a way that you would be standing in your own shadow. I think that's very important when you're working in a kitchen. We're going to use just a small rose garland here, just to soften the edges of it and make it a little bit more feminine, because it is quite a hard room, the kitchen. We have the choice of charcoal grey or a cream colour, and I felt the charcoal grey would pick up on the worktop and some of the other stainless steel appliances in the room. We need traffic space here, and we needed some traffic space that side of the table. I've made sure that people who are seated with their back to the door are well away from it, so they have some prior knowledge that somebody's coming in, because none of us want to sit with our back to the door. It makes us very uncomfortable, and it's to do with survival instincts.
Nina's kitchen seems to be quite old-fashioned, and I'm not convinced by our Feng Shui workspace and the lack of wall cabinets. Halfway through the Show House Challenge, and it's time for Nina and Stephen to see how the competition is shaping up. They've been blindfolded, as they'd only be allowed to see one room in their rival's house.
Okay, anyway. First reactions.
Oh, it's lovely. Yeah, very textural.
Okay, first reactions.
It's contemporary. There's no wall units, which is different.
I'm not a huge tile fan anyway, and I think that they make the brain go funny. There's too much going on.
I think that you'd have a lot of walking to and froing. I think I personally wouldn't like the flow of this kitchen.
I'm not so sure if the older age group, which I think the houses might be targeted more towards, would actually go for a funky kind of a look and the red. That is one concern I would have.
Personally, if I was one of the people coming and viewing it on Sunday, I wouldn't be too impressed with this.
Welcome back to Show House here in Ring, County Waterford. Two identical luxury houses, two very different interior designers, both trying to create a show house that will win the public vote in just 4 days' time.
What I wanted to achieve here was making sure that there's plenty of good harmony and good energy up in the bedroom, because that's a place that relates entirely to relationships and health in feng shui terms.
Nina wants to ensure that the positioning of every element in this room is in tune with best feng shui practice.
I created a wall that basically had to divide off the wardrobe from the bedroom itself and give the bed lots of support under a nice flat ceiling rather than under the eaves, because the eaves aren't good for people who are trying to sleep. It presses the energy. This is actually a zebra wood veneer. This is what this is called, and it really suits and offsets the black glass basins and the chrome taps very nicely. People are wondering why there isn't a mirror here. Is because it disturbs sleep. Mirrors are very, very powerful, and they tend to sap the energy from the room. So the headboard was made especially with a silver frame. It's actually silver voile. These are the fabrics for the windows. They're actually throws that we liked so much and felt would suit the windows very well, especially the beaded look about them and the metallic effect of the voile. I really don't think there's anything I could add to it. I'm really very happy with the way it is now.
Nina's efforts to make sure this room has the right energy has resulted in a bedroom which, while restful, is at odds with her cutting-edge bathroom.
So this is the large room in the basement. It's actually down on the plans as the master bedroom, but I decided to change it into an entertainment space. So it needs to be lively, and the colour scheme needs to be lively. So I've used a deep dark red as the main colour in this room, a sort of more of a burgundy. Really, this room is all about feeling relaxed and warm and comfortable, and that's really the point of why we chose this type of flooring. We really want something very practical and something that you can replace if you need to. I wanted the wow factor down here. It is the luxury end of the market, this house, and the sauna right here, the spa bathroom right here. You couldn't ask for anything better, really.
Nina has finally scored a knockout here. Her basement bathroom has the spectacular quality this house really needs.
Nina's used a really clever idea here to open up her hall stairs and landing. Glass panelling throughout the whole surround. It's reinforced, it's very practical, and it just makes the whole place seem much more bright and airy. I really like it.
Very little pattern in the room, so it's relying mainly on texture and on subtle colour. So in feng shui terms, the house is geared primarily towards the breadwinner in the household. So there is a hierarchy in terms of whose feng shui energies need to be looked after the best. The paint colour that's been used in this room is actually a kind of a grey-green, a taupey grey-green. So what we're trying to do is make sure that whatever paint colour we've used in this room creates a very tranquil, serene situation, but at the same time doesn't interfere with the view outside and the seasons. We're very fortunate that the silver touches of the fireplace itself and the pattern and the Art Nouveau style itself, which is very sensual and very natural, fits in very, very well with our fabrics and some of the other things that are going on in the scheme. We've got 2 corner sofas. As you can see, it's covered in a winter white fabric, the stonewash, which is a lovely pale green. Very, very comfortable, very plump, and that will help to soften down the atmosphere in here. It's meant to really pull everything together and reiterate the natural theme that we're aiming for in this room.
Nina has gone for an open plan approach, but is she gaining space at the cost of luxury?
It's launch day here in Nacarraguiha in Ring in County Waterford. Now remember the builder's brief. Families wanting a larger, more exclusive family home, people returning to their roots from the UK, abroad and other Irish cities, and the emphasis on luxury. And we have families here who fit that description, ready to view the two houses. Our designers are in the back of the van where they can see the reaction to their designs. And we're going to start in Nina's house. Because it's launch day, it's showtime. You're very welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Come on in. You really liked it?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
What about the rest of you? Did you really like it?
I love the tranquility of it now.
Just wanted a really serene, you know, chill out sort of space.
What was your first impressions of the dining room when you came in?
One end fairly ornate, the other end very bland.
We're in the feng shui kitchen.
I don't really like it. I feel I tire of it very quickly.
Definitely impractical. And as for the pasta on the doors, I can imagine them trying to smash the glass to get it out.
It's very exotic. It's very relaxing. I like it.
That's what it was meant to be.
There's nothing I can say really that I do like. If it was my own house, I wouldn't like this style to it at all.
Would you rip everything out?
Yeah, I would. I'm sorry now, but I would. Nothing appeals to me.
You know, you either like something like this or you don't. One or the other.
First impressions.
Spectacular, spectacular.
Oh, good. Another. That's exactly the aim. So.
And now into Stephen's house.
Come on in, you're very welcome. First impressions of this house now.
I much prefer it.
Already?
Yeah, I do.
Living room number 2.
I love the feature wall. I really do. I love it. I think it ties in the whole room together.
There's too much going on. It's neither one thing or the other in my eyes.
There isn't anything going on.
That's
there.
it. Yeah, it's very calm.
And very, very together.
First impressions of this one.
Warm, inviting, totally different. Really like it.
And you really like this one as opposed to the other kitchen?
Yes.
So we're in the master bedroom upstairs. And what's the general feeling up here?
Dreadful.
Dreadful. I thought you were going to tell me you loved it.
No, I hate it. I think it's dreadful.
So we're in the living room stroke entertainment room here in the second house. First impressions.
I love the room. I think I'm the only person here, bar the couches and the curtains at the back wall there. I love this room. This would be my part.
The couches I definitely didn't like. And I said it definitely would bring any woman back to morning sickness.
Oh my God.
I think the cream and the gold are very rich and very lovely. And I think it's a lovely, intimate, passionate kind of a room.
That's the word.
Yes,
Intimate. I wanted that word all week.
Both of these luxury houses have been scrutinised by our launch day visitors. Let's make your mind up time as they vote for their favourite rooms. Nina and Stephen, congratulations. Incredible task to get these huge houses finished.
So we're going to start in your kitchen. Stephen, you had the kitchen with the red stools. Nina, you had the kitchen with the burgundy and the white. Stephen, you won it by 7 votes. Okay.
Very good.
Next, living room and dining room. You had the living room, Stephen, with the yellow sofa, and you had the very plush dining room. Nina, you won by 1 vote.
My goodness.
Well done.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Surprised. Very
Okay,
surprised.
the next one, the sitting room. Nina, you had the very calm, sophisticated living room.
Yes.
Stephen, you had the room with the chocolate couches and the wallpaper, very dramatic. Stephen, you won by 11 votes. Okay. The bedroom upstairs. Let's have a look. Stephen, you had the room, the minimalist room with the headboard that was painted. And Nina, you had the lavish bedroom with the dado rail on it. Nina, you won by 9 votes. Well done. So now that's
Very
2
good.
each.
Neck and neck.
Final room, the basement room. Nina, you had the living room in yours, and Stephen, you had that as the bedroom. 1 vote between the two. Stephen,
And
you won. Congratulations, Stephen. You're the winner. Well done. Well done.
Thank you very much. Great cheers. Congratulations.
Well done.
thank you very much.
All right.
No, I'm not disappointed at all. I'm very glad that Stephen won. I felt his house was very beautifully designed, and I think he's a very talented man.
I think it's well deserved, and I am just overwhelmed by the whole thing. It's brilliant.
As far as the feng shui theme went, I actually don't really know. I'm left confused as to whether or not the public really understood the concept.
I'm probably going to ring my best friend in Cork and tell her that I've won, and the two of us are probably going to giggle like rabbits